My name is Giovanni Gutierrez and I chose the rotary engine for my final project because it is a fascinating contradiction in the sense that it is so simple by only having a handful of moving parts, yet so complex in terms of the geometries and kinematics involved. I tried a number of different methods to make the shapes of the housing and rotor, including drawing an equilateral triangle and routing out the edges. When that proved inconsistent, I used Python to model a family of parametric curves to get the right size before modeling it in SolidWorks. I tried using motion analysis and path tracing to draw the shape of the housing, but I couldn't quite get the exact shape as my kinematics were off when I tried that method. I eventually decided to use parametric equations for the housing as well. I found myself using the curve and wrap functions for every part to construct intake and exhaust ports and to wrap text on parts like the spark plug. I used the 3 separate parts to assemble the spark plug while using swept boss function for the electrode. I chose to run a stress simulation on the eccentric shaft using 1000 newtons to mimic the force a piston experiences in the piston engine. This force was clearly too much for the shaft as expected, since rotary engines typically run more smoothly than piston engines. Overall, my rotary engine is complete with rotors, rotor housings, center iron, front and rear plates, an eccentric shaft, an internal and stationary spur gear, and spark plugs. The engine has fully constructed intake and exhaust ports in center iron and housings, combustion pockets in the rotor, and mounts that allow for engine mounting. This project took over 45 hours to complete, with a lot of time spent on initial research on the shapes, curves, and kinematics involved with the Winkle rotary motion. I learned to not be reluctant to abandon an idea or design that isn't going as planned and choose a different approach to get a solution. I learned a lot and had a lot of fun making this project, so I hope you all enjoyed this video.